Hello everyone, welcome to the Red Men TV for your daily news. Those of you who are around for the original attempt at this, well done, good on you. You were the real first. So if anyone else tried to get first in this and it wasn't one of the people who got first on the original attempt at this, then you're not first. I'm really sorry. Or maybe you're both first. You decide. So Liverpool stuff to get stuck into. The Reds return for pre-season training today. Wow, where has that summer? Mad, it's upon us all of a sudden. 22, I think I heard there or thereabouts players going back in today. Got a list of those, which are some of the interesting ones. Oh no, don't start this again. Bogdan, yes. Conor Randall, yes. John Flanagan, ooh. Pedro Chiravea, yeah. Ryan Kent, could be exciting to see him. The one piece of news that's come out of this, though, that he was apparently going to be in with the first team squad, but Rhian Brewster has broken a bone in his foot. So no better prognosis on that just yet, and whether he's going to be fit or available anytime soon. But that's a major blow at the young lad. I think this was going to be a real opportunity for him to get a bit of game time, and particularly with the Tranmere and Wigan games next week. I would have expected to see him get a kick up, because in terms of the forward players that we've currently got available at the first teams, now they'll start to drip back in over the coming days and weeks. Emre Can's going to be the last one back because of his Confederations Cup exertions. But the minute, in terms of the forwards, there's no... I got this from This Is Anfield, so go and check the This Is Anfield website, of course. You probably do anyway, because it's a great website. Firmino and Sturridge are the only centre forwards there. So no, Origi and Ings is still not ready to properly start proper training. He's still doing his rehabilitation work. And then even in terms of wingers, I don't think Salah's ready to go just yet, because again he played international games, which is the reason why the likes of Lallana and stuff aren't in the squad just yet either. So Mane and Kent are the only wingers, so it means that this will be bolstered by some kids. But as I say, it meant for me that it could have been a chance for Brewster to really impress, and that's a shame. These things happen. Hopefully he gets well again soon and he's able to start putting a little bit of pressure on, because that would be very good indeed. Again, similarly, no Solanke, as mentioned, no Salah, no Lallana, and no Mignolet as well. But obviously Karius, Bogdan, Matip, Lucas Gomez, Klein, just read it, Milner, Moreno, Trent, Flano, Randall. So we've got all the fullbacks. Henderson, Brannigan, although he's been training with the 23s, Chiravea, Kev Stewart, Mane, Kent, Firmino, Sturridge, and apparently Sakho as well. Although, leading on to our next piece of news, the news reports coming out yesterday evening that he has agreed personal terms with Crystal Palace, but which I have written it down and I've read it and gone, well, good, well, that's Sakho done, isn't it? No, because in this transfer window, it's basically opposite world. The opposite world of you agree personal terms first and then you go and get a deal signed with the selling club. So although Sakho has agreed personal terms, as is now the new norm in transfers, it doesn't mean the transfer is going to happen anytime soon, because Palace still have to meet Liverpool's valuation of the player. Mad. Bizarro world, come to our world. I don't know what to think or what to believe anymore. I'm lost in a sea of transfer nonsense. I saw a lot of the big Palace accounts, like 5-year plan and that. Again, great podcast. We're tweeting up their excitement about this and stuff last night, and a few other ones as well. So it does look like there's something to it. Now, obviously, Liverpool value Sakho at £30 million, which again I think is very shrewd from Liverpool, and it's a shame, because I think if he'd gotten a loan this time last year, you know, if he played a full season, or if he'd not picked up the injury for Palace, I think there'd be tons of suitors at 30 million, and I think you could probably put more than 30 million asking price on him. My suspicion is something similar will happen with what happened with Benteke, is that it'll probably end up at like 25 plus add-ons, which I still think is reasonable. It is a shame. I think Sakho's a terrific player, but if he's not wanted by the manager, then you want to get rid. But equally, this is a new Liverpool, and there's one thing that Liverpool have been very, very good at in the last few years. Liverpool were terrible at under David Moyes and under Hicks and Gillette especially. We were very poor at getting value for players when we got rid of them. It was kind of like, well, Liverpool, the surplus to requirements at Liverpool, therefore they've got no worth, and we let so many players go for the pittance just because we wanted rid. Liverpool are in a very strong bargaining position, and they've become very, very good at this type of business. So I would expect Liverpool to get a good wedge of cash for them. Stoke interested as well, apparently. So we might be able to spark a little little bit of a bid more. But you look at it, you know, Crystal Palace, maybe a West Ham, a Stoke. You could get, I think West Brom would probably take a punt if they thought they could afford it. There shouldn't be a shortage of Premier League suitors. There might be one or two abroad. Hopefully this is the catalyst to kind of drag that up and into the public eye a little bit more. So moving on then, the top story, as mentioned in the title and presumably the thumbnail as well, Emanuel Mammana. Yeah, that's got a confusing amount of M's throughout his whole name. It's fine, I worked it out eventually. 21-year-old centre-half playing for Olympique Lyonnais in France. He's Argentinian, he's 6 foot tall, and apparently Liverpool have tabled a £14.9 million bid for him. Now, I got this came via Liverpool Media Watch, via the Express, and then via some mad website off the back of that. So how much truth there is to this, I'm not entirely certain. There's a couple of varying reports. There's one that puts the price in dollars and said that Liverpool are prepared to agree this, and then another one said we've tabled it, another said we'd be in the market for I'm not sure how true this is, if I'm perfectly honest. What it is a sign of, though, is one of two things. Either Liverpool are actively trying to move on from the Van Dijk thing, which is probably a sensible course of action, or they are just going to hold the horses. They're going to, you know, keep the cards close to the chest and wait to see what develops with that. And in that instance, this smacks of media outlets know that Liverpool are in this situation with centre-halves, so the story is believable, so it makes sense to be able to throw some centre-back links out there, because if there's enough plausibility to a story, then it's got legs and it's liable to drive clicks. I mean, for Christ's sake, we're sat here talking about it, so it's clearly had some impact, hasn't it? So I don't know. For me, I think he's 6 foot tall, which is a little short, if I'm honest. Now, 6 foot, listen, if you're 5'10", I'm sure you'd love to be 6 foot, but I'm bigger than that. And I think Liverpool centre-half should be too. You look at the model of Matip. I mean, Matip is probably almost too tall to some extent, but I think you need to be in excess of 6 foot, I think, for what Liverpool are looking for in this transfer window. You know, we need to be more aerially dominant, and I think you'd lose a little bit of that. Now, if he's got a great spring, if he's got a tremendous vertical leap, then maybe that's fine. And he is young as well. But I did some YouTube looking into him. I came across something filthy and fantastic, which is not often what you get on YouTube. Go and look at our Twitter page right now, at the Redmen TV. I've just put a picture out there. So the tags on one of the skills, highlights, etc. videos of this Emanuel Mammana, it's got some choice tagging. That's all I'll say. Go and look at our Twitter to find out what I'm on about there. But yeah, I watched him. He looked fine. I've seen a couple of times he carried the ball. I didn't look massively convincing carrying the ball out. Looked pretty composed at the back. Very good at making recovery tackles, which is obviously you need to be able to do that, but I'd rather you just not be in a position where you have to make a recovery tackle, if that makes sense. But, you know, I would have him pegged more as an on-show than a Hippier. And maybe Liverpool do need that. Although, according to Transfermarkt, he can play both left-sided centre-back and right-sided. A lot of the clips I saw with him playing for River Plate, and he was playing on the right side of the fence, which obviously not something that Liverpool are necessarily in the market for. We need a top-class left-sided centre-back to upgrade on Dejan Lovren, and I'm not sure he is that, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, more than that, we're doing the Reds transfer roundup today. We're doing an absolute bucket load of content. I'm not sure how much is in a bucket of content, but this is how, but actually I do, because this is how much we're doing this. We're doing the podcast today. Yeah, that's going to be available on the Acast app and iTunes, etc., etc. That's me and Chris answering some of your questions via Twitter. Then we've got the comments below show, which is exclusive to the website, which is going through all the comments on the website and a few bits and pieces around YouTube, etc., etc. Comments below, one of our favourite shows. Then we're doing the Reds transfer roundup show, Steve's show. We'll be looking at closer at Emanuel Mammana, and we're going to be looking closer at all Liverpool's latest transfer links, ins and outs, etc. Our best show of the week. Okay, it's our third best show of the week, according to Chris. I think it's our best show of the week, if I'm honest. And then beyond that as well, Chris is doing a live show for subscribers of the website, looking at Liverpool's fixtures via Google Hangout. That should be amazing. I'm going to be on the LFC podcast and couch today as well. So it's a jam-packed day with loads of content. And as I always say, go to theredmentv.com/join if you want to support the show, help this show be a reality for the next season and seasons beyond that as well. Every penny that we get in, it comes right back into making this better for you guys. Your comments though, that's what you're here for. Tom's giving me the eye.
So you've got a super chat from Matt Caldwell PR saying, cheers to the recommendation on Soccernomics.
Amazing book, by the way. Yeah, I'm sorry, and super chat. Woo! What was his name?
Matt Caldwell.
Matt Caldwell, super chat, woo. Yeah, Soccernomics, I'm halfway through it at the moment. Amazing book. It's made me feel loads more relaxed about Liverpool's situation, the way we're built. If anyone's looking for some footy reading on the beach this summer, I do highly recommend that. We've got another super chat here, actually. Shane Jones, super chat. Woo! Please say hi to my kids. Dafford, Lexia, Ella, Shay Gerrard and Gray Lee. If Klopp wants Mammana, let's trust his judgment. In Klopp we trust. Love the show. Fantastic. Hello to Shane's kids, who I desperately apologise for if I've sworn profusely during this. That's poor form. Please do not use those words. But if you want to pick your nose and eat it or wipe it on things, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, Shane, thanks very much for getting involved. You will notice that Tom is mic'd today.
Hey.
People got bored. Basically, because of if you didn't watch the news show yesterday, I had what can only be described as a hiccup disaster, and Tom was forced to take over the show for a period of time, unmiked. So we're rectifying that. Obviously, Tom's in the comments as well, so if you want to have a chat with him to keep him entertained.
You've missed another one as well.
I've missed another one. Go on.
Alex D.
Super chat. Woo! You need to join in with the woos if you're going to be mic'd.
€2. He says, love the show, and does like the hand thing that does the that one.
The A-OK.
And then another one just in.
Jack Gallagher. Super chat. Woo!
But
£1.
Say nothing.
Doesn't say anything. Missed opportunity. So when you do that, so it's a great comment. I'm going to read this out. Yeah, you get off the chance to put a comment in, and we'll preference the super chat stuff, of course. Yeah, Ross Barr, fuck off, Tom, lad. I like you, but I don't love you.
Thank you. Love
Tom, says Aussie Orc. Good. Don't get up, Tom. I won't say the C word. That's too much. Poor Tom. Aubrey Nudes says Liverpool FC 8 Nov. Hopefully we'll get Aubrey involved because Chris is going to be doing this Google Hangout stuff if it works. If you're a subscriber to the website, then you'll be able to be a part of this. But hopefully we're going to get Aubrey involved in it, which would be amazing. So if you want to watch that, be a redmentv.com subscriber. Let's see. Ooh, what we got? Super chats rolling in, says Oggy's me. That's it. Good people. We like it. Another shout for Aubrey Nudes. Stee Nudes. Hashtag Tom Nudes. Paul, bring Aubrey back. Yeah, I told you he's coming back. It'll be fine. What I like is the evolution of the Pajak Nudes, which is now Najak Poods. Which is fine. I do like the internet. Nadine Little says loan out to Rigi. I don't know. If he's poor in pre-season, if he doesn't come back and see Dom Solanke there and see Daniel Sturridge having not been sold and doesn't see Firmino wearing the number 9 shirt and think, I'm going to kick on, I'm going to be better at the football, then yeah, by all means, loan him out. So you know what, sell him. But I would back him to have a good season, if I'm perfectly honest. Bray Jack Nudes, amazing. Right, okay, sad. Let's see what else we got. You what?
I've got one.
Go on.
How do you feel on Everton buying this much?
So that's an interesting topic, and me and Chris are going to be covering this on the podcast today. So do give that a listen. It'll be out later this afternoon. But I do. I'm not asked about Everton buying loads of players, if I'm honest, because there's not many of them that I'm that bothered about. I would be that bothered about us buying either way. They've bought good players, but I'm not sure any of them would massively improve what we've got. And even so, even if we did, like imagine if we bought Sandro Ramirez, which is the centre forward, is that right? People are just being fucking meltdown because we hadn't bought a 50 million centre forward. So I don't miss that, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah, me and Chris will be doing a lot on that today because I think there are some really interesting things, and it's about how Liverpool have approached the transfer window and whether we're doing it in the right way. Some very, very interesting discussion. Like I said, unless it's rubbish because I've not recorded it yet. So yeah, have you got a couple comments for me, Tom? I'm going to see if I can find one or two myself.
Lovren is a liability, apparently, says Assis Ronaldinho.
He is a liability, comparatively speaking. Like if you contextually speaking, he's not really, because we've had centre halves who've been much bigger liabilities than him. And I get that he has the ability to do something soft and cost you the goal. So in that regard, you know, you're absolutely right. But I think all defenders do that. I think Lovren probably gets slightly more stick than is fair. But yeah, that's not to say that Liverpool can't upgrade on him, because I think we absolutely can.
A lot of people in the comments are screaming about Danny Ings.
Yeah, Danny Ings not fully fit, still doing his rehabilitation. I would be very interested to see Danny Ings get some game time. As I say, I've said this in a few places, and hopefully he's able to contribute more, but it wouldn't shock me if it's January before he's able to play a proper competitive level of footy. And we'll see, because if you can get Danny Ings back playing for you in January, when this is a point where Liverpool have struggled, particularly the season just gone, let's use the cliche, it's like a new signing. But having someone of that energy and vigour and, you know, ability as well to come back in could actually work in Liverpool's favour. Whereas it worked almost the opposite way for us last season. Danny Ings got injured at a point where we probably could have really done with having him. Whereas if you can get him back at that time, then that could be great. And Ross Barr says, what do you think with Flano? I think he's got this summer to show to Jurgen Klopp that I don't think in terms of his raw and pure ability, he really fits in any position in our first 11 as we know it. For the start, Klopp's talked about the fact that he's going to look to have some different formations available to him. What Flano could do is make himself the fifth fullback option. So you'd have two fullback options on either side, and he becomes the extra one in that regard. And just, you know, maybe see his contract out, because I think he's got the right endeavour, he's got the right attitude, he's got the right work rate, and he's a Scouser and he gets it. I would have him in Liverpool's squad. You know, I would have him at Melwood regardless whether he's got the ability to really impact the first team. We just can't know. He's not played enough football in the last couple of years to really make any educated kind of decision on that. So we'll know. Right, one more, Tom, and then we'll go.
John Joe McMahon, I guess. Views on our first choice keeper next season.
Simon Mignolet, unless something happens really bad to him in the summer. And then other than that, it'll be Karius. It definitely won't be Bogdan. It's probably not going to be Danny Ward.
Don't rate Bogdan, Ball?
I do not rate. Does anyone rate? But let me know in the comments if you rate Adam Bogdan. And if you do, what do you rate him as? Because it can't be a goalkeeper. I saw he's a lovely fella and I feel so sorry. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to be doing loads more in-depth discussion, as mentioned, on the redmentv.com. As I always say, if you enjoy the free stuff that we do on YouTube, if you love these live streams, these are all made possible by the people who support the show. So go to the redmentv.com/join and sign up. It's £2 a month. You get the first month free. You get loads and loads of extra content as well. So if you like this and you want more, you can get it. And if you don't, you know, and you just want to help the show be a thing, then that's cool too. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you want more me, you can do. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mates TV. Click on my face on the icon. Go through, subscribe to my channel. There's a new video coming up this week. That should be good. It's about being positive in the face of transfer meltdowns. I've not filmed it yet, but it will be amazing, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. We'll see you tomorrow.